Today I'm going to do the brakes on my Toyota Soarer, which is the same as the Mark III Supra. So first thing to do is you need to prepare all your tools, ratchet set, top wrench and all those things. Alright, bits and pieces of spanner, wet tissue, disposable wet tissue, and the front brake. I bought a Wagner TQ thermocoiled ceramic brake pads, not very expensive, $18 from Rock Auto. And I also got these Carlson brake springs. This is to separate the brake pad. I think that the previous mechanic threw this away, so I'm going to put them back. I think this is essential to the performance of the brake. Right, so first thing, to jack the car, I like to jack at the arm, right, at the arm, because I don't have to lift the car up so high, and it's already off, the wheel is already off the ground. Then I can remove the wheel. So we'll move on to the next step. So now I have the wheels off. This is the rotor. As you can see, there's seems to be a mark over here. I don't know why. My mechanic thinks it's because the brake pad has hardened, causing it to leave a mark over here, but somehow when I use my finger over here, I don't feel anything, but I can see the mark. I can hardly feel something with my finger over here, with my fingernails. So he says that I don't have to skim this rotor, just go on, put it on the new pads. And over here there's no ridge, just a little, so still usable. I also found some rust on the Moog tie rod end, so I'm going to settle this with the rust converter and paint it over, since I have this open. To swing this caliper, the system over here is using one boltless pivot over here, and this one has a bolt. So you have to remove this bolt, and then you can swing this up, or you can actually swing up and pull this out. So first thing to do, I'm going to loosen these two brackets, so bolt over here for this bracket, this line bracket, so that I can swing it up above. And I'm going to use a rope to hold it, the bracket up. So on the lower part of the caliper bracket, I'm going to put a 14mm socket to loosen this and remove this slider pin bolt. So now I have the slider pin off. Make sure that you put it on a clean surface, because you don't want it to get contaminated. Something to note when installing the brake pad is you need to pair them with the wear indicator at the bottom, and these two little holes need to face at the back like this. So they need to be paired like this, one side and the other side like this, right? So remember, the wear indicator faces down onwards here. And I found something odd on this brake setup. As far as I know, this is supposed to be a one-piece abutment bracket. The top one is correct, it's one piece, it straddles the left and the right side, but this one is a separate piece. So I don't know, I think maybe one of the previous mechanics put the wrong part here, so maybe I need to order a new abutment clip. I'm going to check with the TSRM now. Okay, I checked the diagrams. Apparently for the MA70 Supra and the MZ20 Soarer, they're using a single piece for the bottom, but for the G series, GA70 Supra and the gz20 Soarer are using a separate piece. So this is okay, so I'm going to put this back. Make sure to clean this up. So as you can see, it's very clean now. I'm going to proceed to clean the other side and the upper side now. Okay, another important thing to note is this is supposed to go down like this, and this is where the bottom of your brake pad will sit, on top of this part here, right? So this is how it's supposed to look like. like that, and you press it down. Now I got the clips off. As you can see, it's very dirty, so just clean them up with this wet towel, and I'm going to clean up the upper side also. So I've put back the abutment clips and they're clean now. I won't put any grease below the abutment clip, but I need to put grease on top here, right? So but make sure don't put too much, just enough for you to for the brake pad to slide on here and here. So this is where it will be sitting on, which is this surface over here and this surface over here on top, right? And sorry, where's that? Ah, this is this side, sorry. This is facing this side, right? The hole need to face at the back. And this will slide inside the abutment clip, so you need to grease over here. Don't grease too much. So I like to use Super Lube. It's my favorite grease. Synthetic, and it can take some heat. It lasts quite long. So now I've greased these surfaces here and here. It's a bit dark, right? So I'm gonna put the brake pad on right now. So the hole facing in the back, and the wear indicator about at the bottom. It's gonna press on like that. Down, press. Okay, I need to use two hands and stop. Alright, it's in now. I had to use two hands. It was a little difficult, but it went in quite nicely. So this is its correct position, and with the holes facing at the back. So I'm gonna put the other side brake pad now. So managed to put in the brake pad now, like this. It was again a bit difficult, but it went in. So I have a close look at how it's supposed to be, here and here. So now I'm gonna put in the new clips. Alright. Okay, I've managed to put the springs in, and you can see how the springs work. Hang on. When you push them like that, there's tendency for it to be push apart. Alright. So they're more effective when you put the caliper on, because it will push this spring down like this, and you let go, they will try to keep the pads apart. Okay, so now I need to push this piston in a little bit more. Alright, then I have to clamp this with the G-clamp to keep this together, then I can put the caliper back on. Okay, to push the piston in a bit more, just use this old brake pad and G-clamp, small one, and just tighten it a bit and see the piston goes in a bit more. Put this clamp over here, G-clamp over here, and just clamp it just enough so that it will touch. Don't clamp too tight, right? So we're gonna have to put back the caliper over here, and then we can swing it partially so that it can go in here, and then we can remove the clamp and swing it all the way. Okay, I managed to put everything back together. Just be careful with this line. You can actually snag with some certain parts over here, and it will be very difficult for you to swing this back in place. So I managed to do that and take care of this line over here, and I tightened this nut. Now it's sliding smoothly. Okay. You can see it's moving, sliding very smoothly. So now I'm going to put back the bracket, and the brake should be okay. I'm going to move on to the right side, and once that is done, I'm going to pump the brakes about 10 times to push the piston out before testing the car. Okay, I forgot to mention that since everything is back together and it's sliding smoothly, I forgot to mention that I put these two nuts over here, because when I removed this bracket, I noticed that this rotor was coming out, so I put these nuts to keep the rotor in. Right, so now you can remove the nuts. Oh yeah, to continue on the tie rod ends, this is after treatment of the rust converter. So as you can see now, it's turned, the rust is gone and it's turned dark color. So I'm going to spray paint it and I'm going to put back the wheel. Okay, studying the old brake pad, looking at it doesn't seem so bad. There's still a lot of life left in this pad. It's still very thick, but it's, one thing I noticed is there doesn't seem to be any shim at the back here. It's just like a metal piece and that's it. There's no shim. So this could be causing the problem, and as you can see, the piston is also eating into the metal part here. and it says something, I can't make out the words, it says some MKM performance, so I'm guessing maybe this is a metallic pad, so maybe that's why there is some grinding noise when I brake. So hopefully with the new Wagner pads, the grinding noise will go away. Alright, I put back the wheel. One more important reminder is make sure that this rubber boot covers the caliper's area over here completely, so that it won't let dust in. It's very important. On a side note, I didn't notice that a lot of videos on YouTube, especially from US, Canada, their brake calipers seem to be rusted, but as you can see here, this is very nice condition. So I think this is because this car is not from the rust belt, so this is how it can look like even after 30 years. No major rust, no corrosion. This is really nice actually. Okay, as I'm doing the rear brakes, I've found something that is not right here. I noticed that these brake pads, Wagner brake pads, actually come with its own shims. So I don't know why these extra shims are here. These extra shims are actually from the old brake pad, which doesn't have shims. So actually this is not necessary. This is what could be causing the brakes to be dragging on the rotor. So I'm going to remove all this, just leave the pad with its original shim, which is this one only. Alright, only this one, this black one.